Well, it's summertime, and when I think of summer, I think of music, I think of fun. And when I think of music and fun, I think of our next guest. This is Freepod, and I am with Kris Valkema, who is lead singer of Blackcat Manor in Freeport, but also a district-wide technician at FSD 145, Freeport School District 145. But today, for the most part, I really want to talk about his band and himself when it comes to being a musician for Blackcat Manor. Hi, Kris. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I'm so glad. You know, I do another podcast in the state, and Kris did the original music for it, and I have received so many compliments for it. I thought, my gosh, why not have Kris Valkema be a guest, and people can find out about all of his talents and what he does when it comes to music. Kris, when did you know you wanted to become a musician?
I think it was maybe around junior high area. It's when I first got into my first band named Faceplant. And we were a ska band, so we had a horn section and everything. And I still enjoy ska and punk and reggae and all that good stuff. But right around then, when we actually started to play some shows and get a little bit of traction, and you can kind of, I don't know. I woke up one day and we had played a show recently before that. And I just thought to myself, you know, I could do this every day and it wouldn't be work, and it makes me happy and makes other people happy for the most part. So that's kind of new, maybe 13 or 14.
So when did you start Blackcat Manor?
So Blackcat Manor morphed out of a band before that called Abandon All Hope. But that's probably been going like 11 years now. So we've been in that band 11 years. We haven't had too many lineup changes, but the lineup now is me, Justin Lickey, Jacob Kays, Corbin Webb, and Mike Hardwig. And I don't think I forgot anyone. Nope. And that's our current lineup right now. But yeah, we've been going on 11 years.
So you've been going on 11 years with Blackcat Manor. You have had some success that we'll talk about in just a little bit. But I was kidding with you when I contacted you and said, hey, I'd love to do a podcast about a young man who sings songs in the Midwest and tries to become a superstar. But in all reality, that's what you guys are doing. And I guess my question is, how difficult is it nowadays? Because, you know, there are things that are a little tougher in life and whatever. How difficult is it now to get gigs and to do gigs? And especially outside of your home in Freeport, how difficult is it to get gigs now?
Well, I think I'll answer that from two different viewpoints. So like if you just start a band and you want to get some gigs in town, usually know a lot of people and you can throw something together. And usually people have some family or some friends that live just outside of town, so you can get some gigs out there. That's not too hard. But when you start venturing out where you don't know anybody, it becomes very difficult because some people want to know, well, how many likes do you have? Or how many followers do you have? Or what is your trajectory? What are your plans for the next year? Can you fit in 3 weeks before this other show that we have? And can you not play 2 weeks after you play around this area? So there's a lot of different rules and stipulations. But any advice that I would give anybody, it's very difficult. With technology and the internet, it makes it so much easier to connect with people and give them your stuff and see if they want to play with you. But anyone who really wanted to do it, I would say, don't burn any bridges if you can help it, number one. And number two, make friends with the talent. Don't make friends with the bar owner, the promoter. Make friends with the talent, with the other bands, because that's, for the most part, how we get on a lot of shows is we just kind of know someone, or someone knows of us or has heard of us, or we like to do the good old, hey, if someone drops out, you need someone to fill in, we'll fill that spot usually.
Now, as you're a district-wide technician at FSD 145, you're pretty solid when it comes to social media and all that kind of stuff. So basically, what type of social media influence does Blackcat Manor have?
As far as the internet, we're a bunch of old men. I don't want to say that, and I feel bad saying that. But we grew up.
My goodness, you're saying you're a bunch of old men?
Let me rephrase it.
Okay, I got my walker.
I grew up in an era with rotary phones, and there wasn't AOL, and there wasn't any of that, and it was just old computers and DOS, and that's when I was a little child. And so to see it grow, yes, it's definitely a million times easier to connect and do it, but it does take a lot of work, and you have to be consistent. But what's nice today is you can set up all these things and you can kind of automate it if you really need to. And that way you can create a whole bunch of content, in a month and then just slowly drip it out and slowly kind of do it that way.
So with Blackcat Manor, just how many shows do you do a year?
Ooh, man, that's a good question. Let's say our best year, I'm going to go with 67, 87 in a year. That'd be maybe the best year, because it's about 2 to 3 a month if we can really do it. And then we'll do some one-off things too, like we'll do the weekend warrior thing where we'll go play 1 or 2 or 3 in a weekend. Or like last summer, we went to Canada for 11 days and played a bunch of festivals and hung up there. So
I remember when you guys did that, and I talked to Corbin Webb about it a little bit, and it was such a wonderful experience. But now seriously, I know what you're talking about, being older guys, and I was joking about the fact of being a grandpa or whatever.
No.
But I would imagine now you're all. I mean, you have families. How much more difficult is it to be in a band where there are so many responsibilities that you have compared to when you were in your 20s, where it was like, let's go, we're gone for a while. I mean, I imagine that you guys had to do some major scheduling when it came to those festivals that you performed in up in Canada.
Oh, yes. Well, you just kind of have to get everyone together. And there's 5 people in my band. So balancing 5 people's schedules is crazy, and making sure everybody can take the time off work. The good thing about it was none of us really had young kids. So like when my son was younger, it definitely was a lot harder to balance because he can't stay home by himself, or grandma's not going to be able to watch him, or mom has something to do. So the good thing about my band is it's family first. So if somebody's got some stuff, that's just how it is, and nobody gets upset. But as far as Canada goes and like scheduling now, my son's 22. I mean, all of our kids are at least 15, 16 or older, and they don't want to hang out with us anyway. So it's not so bad. It's mostly like, my wife, she misses me, and like when I'm gone, and of course we always invite everybody. You can come with us, you can come. And they're just like, well, we've been to them before. And some are fun, some are not. We play in great places, we play in terrible places, but it's all good people. So juggling it is very easy now, but like in the 20s and everything else, it's kind of just like someone calls and like, yeah, do you want to play a show tomorrow night? It's a Tuesday, but it's in Iowa. I'd be like, yup, let's go. Now, it's more like, well, we can kind of maybe do it, but we're also musicians with other jobs. So if you could throw us a little bit of cash, that would be great. I mean, my biggest rule is I would just love to break even, however that happens, whether we sell merch or whether they pay us out or they make extra money or whatever. But as long as we can break even and we're not losing money, then I consider it a win.
So, okay, you gave me some words that I want to use. Number 1, where's the best place that Blackcat Manor is played?
Oh, man. Well, there is a show that we did with one of our favorite bands called 10 Foot Pole. And we played with them, which is just blowing our high school minds, at Reggie's. And Reggie's is a rock club in Chicago, downtown Chicago. And they pretty much have all that metal, all that rock. They have jazz. They have everything. They have a big room with a big stage, and they have a side room that's kind of a sidebar with a smaller stage. And we got to play on the big stage and open up for like kind of one of our high school favorite bands. And then a bunch of bands that we enjoyed just showed up to see them play. So we got to meet a bunch of people from other bands like 88 Fingers Louie. And it was just, that's probably like one of my best shows.
So here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the worst place you guys have ever played?
Well, I mean, should you really like talk crap?
No, you shouldn't talk crap. Okay.
Well, then I'll say this. The worst place that I will say as me, I'm not going to say as Blackcat or my band. I'm not going to put words in their mouth. But there is a place in Canada. I won't say what town. It's called, I think, like the Tail of the Junction or Junction of the Tail, something like that. Now, the people there are great, wonderful folks, right? But this place is tiny. This place's stage is, I know people can't see my fingers, but it's like 1.5 inches tall. It's not that big. It's almost a drum riser. We showed up there and just dirty as all get out, which we don't mind. Like that's our bread and butter. But things that are dead around, just uncleanly stuff. I had to work on the PA and get some fans and have it blow on it because it got too hot because it was from 1987. Messed around with some speakers. They didn't really promote the show, so we found some people outside, got them in. We parked our van in the back behind there. There was kind of sort of like an impromptu rave going on back there with people just doing whatever they wanted to. We got to witness some folks like using the restroom outdoor. I mean, so this place was a diamond in the rough. But looking back, I mean, it wasn't so terrible. And like I said, the people were nice, but the aesthetic of this place was like, yeah, you really got to love music to get on that one.
Well, you talk about, and I know for a fact you have gotten me out of a ton of issues with my technology throughout the years. And so you have a lot of tools in your toolbox, I guess you would say. How many of those tools do you need without you even knowing you're going to need them when you go into a concert?
Well, there's 2 ways to go about it when you get a show. So you can do it legally, like get a contract, have people sign, notarize, do all that stuff. And then everything's in black and white, red, you're good to go. You know that, if something happens, it's going to be taken care of or it's going to be taken care of later. But a lot of times it's mostly, hey, this is what we can offer. You get a percentage of the door, you get free drinks, you get this or that. We're going to try and get you paid. And when you go, you just don't know what's going to happen. And a perfect example of that is, we played a show. Oh gosh, I'm just going to say out of town. I'm not going to mention anybody, but we get there. And the biggest thing was whoever was going to be running the sound at this place. No, they weren't there. Or the people were just like, we don't have one. So they just needed somebody to do it. And so since I know some things and, all the other bands, they know stuff too, but I don't know. I like to mess with stuff.
Sure.
So like, hey, can you do this? And I'm like, reluctantly, I'm like, yeah, okay. So I look at all their stuff and I hook some things up and I switch some stuff around. And the only thing that stunk was I had to climb up in these Raptors and unplug this monitor and plug it in a different spot because it wasn't working correctly. And then, so I'm doing all that. And then after that, I have to go and play. So I'm already tired. And so that's like maybe the worst, but it definitely comes in handy. Like if something's broken or we got to fix something, just same way, like, our drummer's fairly good with cars and that stuff. So if something breaks, we all like have a little something that we bring to the table.
Well, I know this. I've seen you play a few times. I've seen you play
Thank you
solo,
for that.
And I've seen Blackcat Manor play a couple of times. One time I remember outdoor concert over at Zealous Art Studio. You guys were on fire, and that's an afternoon gig, and you guys were just smoking. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys are so good. It's afternoon and they're killing it. So you deserve all the success that you've received. And so I'm kind of transitioning into the big question, and that is, everybody that's listening here, Blackcat Manor, pretty well known and has been on TV a few times, if I remember correctly. So tell us a little bit about the situation and how did Blackcat Manor get a song on TV?
All right. Well, it's really due to our drummer, Mr. Justin Lickey. So he went to school with a gentleman named Anthony Rosk, I do believe, if you remember Anthony Rosk. Long story short, he moved out to California. He's kind of a sound engineer. I don't know exact job, but the lady that he married, this wonderful lady, is also a sound engineer, and she works for a company that works for FX and a bunch of different movie studios and all that good stuff. Well, they saw each other at a wedding, and we had recently released this CD. I believe it was Relentless, and it had a song on there called Hellfire. And so they're just chatting, talking. So as most of us do in a band, we promote ourselves and we give out music and different things. And and he just listened to it. He gave it to his wife, and she listened to it. And there was a song on there that she really enjoyed, Hellfire. And she was looking for a song for American Horror Story for this one scene in a grocery store. And they looked at a couple of different mainstream bands and different things and the cost and all that stuff. And then they just threw it out there one day to him. Hey, do you want to have a song play over this PA in the grocery store of this scene? And we're like, yes, we do. That was like 3 months, I think, or 4 months before it aired. And so they sent over all the contracts, and we set up all of our BMI or ASCAP. If anyone knows that, that's all your royalty stuff, and got that all set. Adam Bird helped us. Thank you, Adam. And then basically it was a waiting game because they don't greenlight anything. They don't tell you. They send you the stuff, and they sent us some of the scripts, so we knew what was going on. They're like, listen, you can't tell anybody. If you tell anybody, you're in big trouble.
It could be on the cutting room floor too, couldn't it?
Exactly. And they could get rid of it at any time. So about a week and a half before the episode actually aired, we're kind of freaking out. Not really. But then we finally got the email and the call. Yeah, it's going to go, and you guys are good to go, and you can talk about it and do whatever you want. And so then it was a mad dash from there to writing up press releases and sending it here and sending it there and telling everybody that we possibly could that it was going on. And then we had some TV appearances. I think we were on like WREX or one of those news stations where they came over to our practice spot and just talked to us about it a little bit and stuff in the paper and things. And it was really cool.
Did things change for you after that went on at all, or no?
Not really so much, but what we did notice is if you want to start getting some shows, if you can get some music out there on TV or in a movie or a commercial or whatever, people will just start calling you out of the blue and emailing you out of the blue. So we got a lot of shows. And so every once in a while we'll get a show like that. Like, hey, I heard you guys were on American Horror Story. Like, do you want to come up and play? And, wherever. And it's been nice. It slows down. It's not as popular, but I will say if anyone wants to help us split, us 5 people split 1/13 of a penny, you go watch American Horror Story season 7, episode 1. It's the cult one where they're in the grocery store, and that's our song.
1/13 of a penny.
1/13 of a penny split between 5 dudes.
That's royalties, man.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. Get your new golf clubs.
They did cut us a check like initially, so that was nice, and we used that to fund our next record.
Very nice. So as we end this podcast, I guess my question to you is, you are a proud Freeporter. I know you are, and you are in this community, and you guys have stayed in this community and have had much success in everything you've done, and then brought it into Blackcat Manor. You've been there together 11 years. What's it take to keep a band going for 11 years?
Well, I can't speak for anybody in my band, but I'll say this. Like, all those boys, I love them to death. And even the boys that are not in the band now, I love them to death. And all the boys that were in all my other bands, I love them to death. And girls, I play with some girls too. But it's that friendship. Like, you get used to seeing that person once a week or once every other week, and just the bonding. And if you really enjoy music, you just have to enjoy playing, no matter if it's for one person, 500 people, you just have to love playing. And that's kind of what it takes. If you have that mentality and you go into it with that expectation, then you'll get a lot farther, and you will definitely stay together a lot longer. But when you bring in the business side, and when you bring in the money, and when you bring in who gets the most attention and this and that just never works. So we're all kind of on that same page where we're like, we just want to play, man. We just want to play and not have to pay to play. That's the biggest thing.
Excellent. Kris Valkema, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much, not only for what you do at FSD 145, but also for giving Freeport some sound, some really, really good sound.
Well, I definitely appreciate it. And this is a wonderful thing that you're doing, along with the many other wonderful things that you do around here. If you want to see me play by myself anytime, for the most part, on Thursday nights from 5 to 8:30, there is an open mic at Eilert's right next to the bowling alley, consistently every Thursday night. So if you play, if you do a monologue, if you're a comic, anything that you want to do and get up in front of people, there is a spot for you from 5 to 8:30 at Eilert's every single Thursday. It's been going on for not a long while, but quite a while. And I've been there every Thursday, and every Thursday I meet new people and have a good time. It's great networking for musicians. So
Eilert's, what are the times and what are the days?
Eilert's is every Thursday, 5 to 8:30 open mic.
Do you pick up a few people? I mean, do a few people come into this?
Yeah, there was a second or third time I was there and they were doing it. There was a couple older gentlemen and they hadn't played in a while, but the next time that they came back, they picked up a guitar again. And one guy's like, man, I haven't really played in front of anybody in like 9 years. I noodle around. And he's like, you guys were doing this thing and out we come. And he's been a regular like ever since. So
that's awesome.
I'm trying to get all my musician friends to come out and hang out. It's every Thursday. Come have a fun Thirsty Thursday is what I say.
Everybody, this is Kris Valkema, not only a district-wide technician at FSD 145, but lead singer and really, really cool dude. I've known him a long time. Really, really cool dude of Blackcat Manor. Thank you, Kris.
Thank you.